Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Happy World Card Making Day. This is Lori Bradley. I'm here in St. Louis, Missouri, and I am doing 31 projects in 31 days. If you've been following along, we've done a Halloween card, we've done a breast cancer card. Yesterday, we made a Christmas card, and today we're going to use a stamp set that typically is used for Christmas, and I actually used it on my Lunch with Lori class a couple of weeks ago, and it is called A Little Cheer. So if you missed that class, be sure to check that out because that's where my Christmas ideas are. But today, I'm a little out of breath. If you're following along yesterday and I was, 45 minutes late going live, my husband got a new work phone and it came, he tried to do the setup and it wouldn't work. He couldn't get the phone to work. So then he was on the phone with the phone company twice. They disconnected him. It didn't work. So then we had to go to the phone store last night and they told him it was a secure national account because he works for a healthcare company. Anyway, they can't fix it. So he can't text or call. So until Monday when he calls his work company, but he already unloaded his old phone onto the new phone. And so anyway, a little bit crazy at our house. And then this morning when I was getting ready to go live, our son, my family doesn't cooperate with my schedule. When I was getting ready to go live, my son was leaving for football. So here we are. Like I said, happy World Card Making Day. I am super excited. Unfortunately, because of our family schedule, I wasn't able to do an event today, and I usually do that. So I apologize, but here we are. We're gonna make a card. And today's card was actually out of necessity. I need a baby boy card. And so we're gonna use a Christmas stamp set to make a baby boy card. So I'm gonna turn you around here and get it going. And let's do this. All right, so actually, let me show you real quick this stamp set, and it's a bundle. It's called The Little Cheer, and it literally is a cute little stamp set. They're pretty small letters, but they're super cute. I made a note card last week, and they definitely lend themselves to Christmas tags. But there's 3 punches. There's a stocking, a tree, and a star, and they coordinate with these cute little stamps right here. Trying to get my video pulled up here on my laptop so I can see if you have any comments. Be sure to comment, tell me where you're watching from, all of that good stuff. And I'm happy that you're here. I typically post a Share It Saturday. Today is World Card Making Day, so I'm gonna ask that you post a card that you make. I'll post that when I'm done here, so let's make sure I say that. And then, okay, here we go. Whew, it's Saturday. I don't normally do this on Saturday. All right, I need a baby boy card, so I'm thinking blue, right? Blue, although, all right, so Sheila, you can make this card. You can make this card if you need a baby card, and you can make a boy or a girl, but I'm gonna start with a regular 8.5 by 5.5 piece of Smoky Slate cardstock. Fold that in half. Got that. Now I also did have like 7 seconds ago, a piece of designer series paper that has moved. All right. Well, that's the beauty of the magic of TV. We're gonna just cut another one. I'm using the beautiful Bokeh designer series paper. It's a 6 by 6 piece of designer series paper, but look at this. It has balmy blue, so I'm going to use that because it's going to add some depth to our card. It's actually going to be our background. Not sure where that piece went to, so, you know, it wouldn't be a Lori video if everything went correctly, right? If everything was perfect, then you would think that it was somebody else doing my video. All right, and then 5 1/4. So this was a 4 by 5 1/4, just that front panel, just the usual panel. I'm not gonna put a border around it. No, my goodness, it was right here underneath my white piece because guess what? They are the same size. My white piece, oh goodness, my light is shining in the wrong spot. All right. Oh, hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining me. I bet Lydia and Candy are with you. That will be super fun. Hope you ladies have a great day. All right, so I have 2 pieces now because I panicked a little too soon. All right, so we're gonna use the dot side because that just looks a little bit cloudy to me. It looks kind of like clouds, not exactly, but that's what I'm gonna call it, the clouds. I'm gonna put that right on the front, just like that. Okay, I'm not gonna put the white piece on the inside because I'm gonna stamp it in just a second. All right, now, oh my goodness, my pieces, I just had them. You guys, I'm a hot mess here. Here we go. Okay, I'm really not a hot mess. It's just today, I guess. All right, I have my white piece. Goodness gracious. It's 2.5 by 3.5. And I'm going to stamp the clothesline. Looks like a clothesline. I'm not sure if it was a clothesline when it was hanging my Christmas stockings, but I'm gonna stamp that in Smoky Slate. And I'm just gonna stamp one clothesline across my panel. This is a little short to do it across, say the 4 by 5.25. It just doesn't go all the way. So unless you're able to figure out how to make that happen all the way across, I suggest using a smaller piece of paper, or on a smaller panel, which is what I'm doing today. I'm just gonna put that. It goes across my piece. 3.5 is pretty good. I don't want it to be exactly straight. So I'm gonna do it like that. Now I'm going to take I've got a Balmy blue ink pad and I've got my Smoky Slate, and I'm gonna use this little booty. Instead of a Christmas stocking, it's going to be a baby booty, okay? While I'm stamping these, this is your question for the moment to decide. Can you put a bow, like an actual bow? And I have the Balmy blue sheer ribbon. Can you put a bow on a baby card? So that's my question. So yes or no, we can put a bow, or maybe you want to see the card before we do it. All right, so I'm gonna alternate my Smoky Slate and Balmy blue stockings, or booties in this case. Let's start with Smoky Slate. I'm gonna wipe it off. My ink pad is really dirty. And then I'm gonna do Balmy blue. And then I'm not gonna do it quite all the way to the top. I'm gonna show you why. Then we'll go back to the Smoky Slate. If you're thinking, well, that looks silly, there's a big gap. There's a reason. Back to the blue. And then back to the gray. All right, so we have our booties hanging. If you're a little bit more OCD than I am, then just get it done. If you wanted to start with the gray one and work your way out so they were even, but I'm okay that they're not. All right, then there's this tiny little bow. It's so cute. And this bow is going to tie our stockings onto our clothesline. Oop. That's what happens when I'm not right in front of it. All right, well, we're gonna go with it. We're going on. All the way across. You can turn your bows. You have to be very careful with this bow, I've learned. You have to make sure that you press it all the way down. I'm gonna turn this one a little bit sideways the other way. All right, so we have our stockings. That one is gonna make me crazy, actually. I said I'm not gonna worry about it, but I am gonna worry about it. So bear with me for 1 second. We're gonna restamp this. I'll be quicker this time. I'm not, because I want it to look right? All right, Monica says, yes, I can make a bow on a boy card. Anybody else agree with that? I think you're right, Monica. I don't disagree. I just wanted to see if anybody else thought the same as I did. All right, does anyone have any big World Card Making Day plans today? Are you making cards? Are you making a scrapbook? I know Stampin' Up had an event today, a world card making event. I think maybe registration was still open. It was a free event. I unfortunately wasn't going to be here, so I couldn't plan that one, but all right, here we go. Now let's see if I can get these bows right. There's two sides to every paper. Remember that. There's two sides till you glue it down, and then you're in trouble. You only have one. So that's why I always stamp before I glue, because see, there it is again. There we go. And all our booties are hung on the clothesline with this cute little bow. All right, now there is not a congratulations stamp or baby boy or any such stamp in this stamp set. And so if I'd made a tag, I could have used the to and from. I actually am going to pull a stamp from the ship, the Ahoy, oh my goodness, Sunrise Sailing. That's what I'm gonna do. So I pulled congratulations from that. The baby card that I need, actually, what do you think? Should I do it in gray ink or should I do it in blue? My sample I did in blue. So let me know what you think. Oh, Sheila, good. I hope that you enjoy that event. All right, so gray or blue ink? That's my question. Just a quick, whatever you think, answer. But I don't have any baby stamps. I really don't. And so I was struggling, and I found congratulations and thought, okay. But the card that I needed to make is for a friend's daughter who just adopted a baby boy, and I think that is so wonderful, and I want to, I can't make the shower, but I wanted to give them a gift. All right, Judy says blue. We're going blue. Thank you, Judy. All right, so I'm going to stamp it in blue, and you chose the correct color, Judy, because that way I didn't have to clean my ink, clean my stamp. All right, so I've got congratulations. Okay, now, so that's 2.5 by 3.5. I'm going to attach this to another Smoky Slate panel. That is, and I made my borders narrow. 1/8 of an inch is pretty common for me, just because I don't want a huge border. And that is not the right. You guys, I am out of control today. I made that too. I made it backwards. All right, we're gonna make this. No, you know what we're gonna do? I never have this much trouble. I'm gonna call it a Saturday problem. That's what I'm gonna call it. All right, everybody. Lori, calm down. 2 3/4 by 3.5. So this one is going to be 2 7/8. So this one's actually going to be a little bit different than my original sample because I screwed up. All right, so that one will be 3 5/8. I'm going to measure just to be sure. 3.5, 3 5/8. Yep, okay. Goodness. All right, so days 1 through 4 been, you know, a little rocky. You'd think I'd never done this before. We're gonna make it though. All right, then we have our, I have the same Saturday problems, same Monday problems. I have all the problems. I just do it publicly. All right, so let's put, actually, all right, this one's gonna get a bow because I didn't, oh my goodness, ladies, this is ridiculous. Maybe this one won't get a bow, or we'll just put a bow on it. I wrapped this ribbon around that piece. So you know what? This one's not gonna get a bow. It's just gonna be a little plain, but we'll bling it up a different way. That's what we'll do. All right, so I'm gonna put this on, and then you can tell me which one you like, because we are all about winging it here. Which also, if you're following along, is I'm pretty sure that no one in their craft room does everything exactly the way they want it to the first time. Sometimes you think, oh, this is crooked, let me try this again, whatever. I'm just here to be real. I am your real goofball stamper. All right, so I'm gonna put this piece on. Now, I have some rhinestones on my desk. I actually have some rhinestones. And I'm gonna color those. I think I'll color those Balmy blue. Let me grab my Balmy blue blends. And we'll just put some bling on it instead of the ribbon. We'll just add some shine. So I'm gonna do the Balmy blue. These are just the basic rhinestones. So they're not gonna be too crazy, but they're just gonna add a little bit of color. So if you use your Stampin' Blends, you can color any gems. I could wrap it around the whole card front, couldn't I? I could do that and then slide it through there. And then it just shows on the inside. That's not a problem, is it? I don't think that's a problem. We'll make it not a problem. Good idea, Judy. All right, let's do that. I can wrap it. Could I wrap it around this, you think? No, it would go over my things, but I could wrap it and put it through this. Feed it through. Let's see what we think. There it is. And then tie it on this side. Is that what you were thinking, Judy? Hey, Pam, thanks for joining us. Like right here. I think if I'm gonna do that, we're gonna scoot this guy over just a little bit. I know it'll be off center, but then that bow will help with it. This is the craziest card I've ever made. I just want you to know. Like, I'm never this wishy-washy about this. Okay, and make sure it's flat. Maybe I'm your Saturday laugh for today. That's what we're gonna call it. Saturday laugh on World Card Making Day. Let's see how many times Lori can screw up. All right. My friend Sarah, who's watching, is my bow tire. I am not a bow tire. It's not my thing. Not my thing, but here we are. Okay, this is a fancy boy card. How's that, Judy? Is that what you were thinking? All right, now let's put on these blue dots. I only did 3. Let me color a couple of extra just to be safe. So if you have never colored gems, the Stampin' Blends are perfect. You can color rhinestones, you can color pearls, you can color ribbon. If this ribbon had been white, we could have colored it. But the one suggestion, make sure that you have your tip sideways on your gem. Don't go straight down like this, because it'll ruin the tip of your marker, and you just don't want to do that. If you have the Stampin' Right markers, you could use those, but I'm going to tell you it'll take you about a year for those to dry, and you'll get it all over your hands, and then you'll ruin your card. And ask me how I know those things, right? All right, so let's add a little bling. I'm not really sure where I want to add this because this wasn't in my original plan. Usually I have to think about these things, but we're winging it, right? Yeah, I think boys deserve fancy cards too, especially a boy mom who's just adopted a baby, right? All right, the ambulance is going away from the hospital this morning, not to the hospital. You know what? Let's put it over here because we've got the bow on that side, so let's bling on the other side and balance it out a little bit. All right, boys getting bling too. There we go. And then the original one that I put somewhere. Oh, it's right here. All right, does not have a bow. I actually like that bow. I like that ribbon. It's very easy to work with. And if you know me, then you know that I don't really like bows. Okay, but let's go ahead. Let's put a white panel on the inside, and I think it deserves a little booty also. Like right down here in the corner. Just like that. And then we'll put that on the inside. Like I said, happy World Card Making Day. Be sure to check out Share It Saturday because we are making cards, and I will share my card that I made here. I'll put the dimensions in the comments so that you can remake this card if you have this set or if you have something similar. And that is today's project number 4. Tomorrow, let's see, tomorrow's day 5. It's Sunday. Sundays are a little harder. I will go live at 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon for day 5 of projects. So thanks for joining me. Have a super great day. Enjoy, whatever Saturday brings for you. And I will see you tomorrow.